Okay, so welcome to another episode of Noob's Guide, and yeah, I'm going to call this sequence of videos as Noob's Guide. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss about the bash aliases or shell aliases in general. Okay, so here's a demonstration of how bash aliases can help you in becoming a more efficient Linux user, and also to make your way towards becoming a Linux power user. Actually, I don't use bash as my default shell. I use ZSH as my default shell because ZSH is like bash on steroids, and I'll slowly release videos on how to install and configure everything and why are these configurations necessary for a Linux power user. So as you can see here, I've just switched on to the bash shell, and this is going to be the default shell which you might see on any Debian based Linux distro. So it's with this dollar sign, and yeah, so here you can see that I'm typing a sudo apt update and just type the password, and you can see it's just checking for updates in my repositories for any updates in my system, and you can see it's all done, and I have one package upgradable. So either you can do this, or I'm just typing my custom command update, and it's also does the same thing. So it's the advantage of mainly configuring bash aliases that uh, you can just type any custom commands and facilitate any task efficiently. It's just because of this bash alias. So I'm going to show you another example. uh, okay, let me just try to increase the size and a little bit, maybe you all can see it better. And why is this not increasing? Okay, so anyways, let's type sudo apt upgrade, and here you can see you can do this. Now I'm just aborting because I need to show you all what my custom command looks like. So here I've typed upgrade, and it also does the same thing pretty much. And while it installs, let me just explain to you. These bash aliases are actually stored in a file in your home directory called bash rc. So in ZSH it will be ZSHRC, and in any other shell, if you are using any custom shell, so it will be like that shell rc. So it is basically by default it's hidden directory, so it will be like .bash rc or .zshrc. So let me show you all another demo while it installs. So it's like bash rc. If you type it, so it will be like what's the let's bring up this article from Stack Exchange, and you can see they've explained it properly that someone put this question like what are bash rcs and all. Yeah, so bash rc runs on every interactive shell launch. So every time you open a terminal by default or you run bash, this file gets executed, and it allows us to be this interactive shell like these responses that yes, I want to do this. Like you have seen that sudo apt update, so it gave us that option. Upgrade, it gave us that option that yes or no. So these all interactiveness comes from this bash rc file. So let me clear up this window, and let me just minimize this one for future references, and let's just make sure that you are in your home directory. So I'm in my home directory, and you can use pretty much any code editor. You can use VS Code, Sublime, or anything. Just you need to modify this file .bash rc. So in terminal, maybe by default there's nano, there's gedit by default in case of GNOME shells, or pretty much every distro ships with gedit, or most of the distros ship with gedit, so gedit will be there. So I'm just going to show you in general. You can use any code editor. So here you can see I've opened my bash rc file, and on the end there's also written that bash rc is executed for non-login shells. So in your login environment bash rc won't be there, except that error. Now you can see on the last I have configured some of my custom shortcuts for Tizonia, then update, upgrade. For installing also I have a shortcut. Then for waking up my LAN server I have this wake server command and all. So there are also some aliases like which are built into the bash shell. So these are like these aliases. You can go through this file all along by yourself, and you can maybe you can find some more custom commands which are built into your system as per your requirement. There's on the top there are some ls, la, ll, and these are commands which are not by default. By default it's ls, but it is configured like that, so for your ease of convenience. So I'm just going to delete this update and we'll show you what it does. So now I've deleted it, and let me just open another terminal window. And if I type update, oh sorry, I'm in ZSH shell. I need to just return back to bash, and here you can see I'm typing update and it's command not found. You can see command not found because update doesn't exist by default. So I'm just typing here again alias. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me just make a clear space for it. Yeah, at the very end just type here. I'll just give one more space. Can we increase the size? No. Okay, leave it. So alias update, and the syntax is like this. Then you give single quotes. In single quotes you need to just type on your command. So in my case it's sudo apt update, and just for your ease of visibility I'll just put everything down in the description and also on the screen. Maybe I'm just going to move it where it was and just press save. And oh okay, actually this pound or hash symbol is used to make commands. So let me just distinguish between my configurations and what configurations were there from beginning. So just save it, launch another instance, switch back to bash, and here I can type update and it works like previous. Just type the password and it works as we all know. So here you can see I've successfully configured my bash alias. So if your workflow revolves around typing the same repetitive commands daily or over a period of time, over a certain period of time, you can just configure this kind of bash shell alias and just manage your tasks efficiently. So that's all. Like here you can see also oh, one more thing, sometimes these commands might not get executed properly. In that case, because bash rc doesn't load, so there's also some command like source bash rc, but don't indulge into that kind of hassle. Just restart your computer or restart your this or log out and log in also, that also works because this shell gets reloaded. So as you can see here that another file zshrc, so it contains my zsh configurations of aliases. It's just not highlighted properly as Jedit might not recognize what .zshrc is, but it's there since it's a custom shell not shipped with Linux by default, Linux I mean Debian by default. So yeah, that's it. Now zsh also has some custom configurations in my zsh folder. So maybe I'm doing some mistake. Okay, why it's not working? Oh, zsh is a directory. So yeah, okay, so cd my zsh, and you can see here these stylings which I did doesn't come with bash, and that's why I'm using zsh. So anyways, you can see here this is my my zsh directory, and it contains all the custom configurations required for this zshrc and zsh shell by default. So here's all configuring about bash aliases, and it's really a tongue twister for me. Why do they keep names like this? uh, Anyways, I hope you like my video. Like, share and subscribe, and peace.